and Heels podcast. One handsome devil. Your host, Jack Purcell. Scissor me, daddy ass. Louis Perry, your co-host. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell. Faces and Heels podcast.
Welcome to the Faces and Heels podcast. I'm no slacker. I'm Jack Purcell, Inc. This guy is knackered like a cheese cracker. It's Louis Perry, and we're on the road to WrestleMania. Louis, give us the review from Raw.
I'm tired. It was good, man. I had a blast. But before we get going, hold it. I want to share something really quick, and I should have talked to you about this beforehand. Let me just share my screen here. Really super quick. If you guys, I know we don't like to mix the two words and stuff like worlds, rather. I'm tongue-tied. But go to this here website and vote for my good friend, my brother from another mother, the one and only. You guys go to any conventions, comic book conventions, go here, vote for Brandon Clark. The voting begins pretty soon. He's in this big-ass cosplay contest. Go there and vote for Brandon, okay? He just called me a little while ago, asked me to vote for him, asked me to get his word out there for people to vote for him. Look at him. Everybody knows Brandon. Jack, you know Brandon. Please go there and vote for Brandon. And more about that on the Angry Geeks. So I just wanted to say go there and vote for Brandon. And good evening, Eric. Monday Night Raw. It was great. All right, Carmelo Hayes made his debut. They even announced that he was from Boston, even though it was a homecoming for John Cena last night. John Cena's dad was walking around at the end of the show, taking pictures, rubbing elbows, shaking babies, and kissing hands, taking pictures out in the crowd. He was down by the train station by the T. Very cool. I mean, people were going up to him taking pictures, and he was thanking people for taking pictures with him, man. The guy's a class act. You know, absolutely class, just like his son. I mean, that's how you could see John Cena. John Cena, he grants more make-a-wishes than anybody in history, and you can see it just by the upbringing of his dad. His dad is so polite. I didn't want to bother him. Neither did the two boys. One of my sons had his girlfriend with him, and she's getting into wrestling now. And she was like, "Oh my God, can I go say hi?" I'm like, "Sure." She kind of backed off and like, "Well, if you three aren't going, I'm certainly not going." And it was just, I respected her for that. But the poor guy, John Cena's dad, was just swamped, and he was just sitting there, just taking picture after picture. He didn't care. Thank you. And I was listening to him. Thank you. No, thank you. Pleasure to meet you. What was your name again? And he was just sitting there. It was really cool. The card itself, stacked. It was awesome. But you being in the arena and then being at home, you can definitely hear, and John Cena said this on the air last night. I'm not sure if you heard it at home. Who gets piped in sound and who doesn't? Bianca Belair, her match was done flat until Asuka came out. That crowd popped huge when Asuka came out. Not just me, but the place went huge. I got some great shots of Asuka. I got one of the actual blue mist. I sent it to Jack, and I got one of everything coming out of her mouth too. That was at the hotel room. I can't show you that one.
Hello.
Hello. It was fantastic. Cena, of course, a huge pop. Seth Rollins, huge pop. Um, the Logan Paul death threats. My God, they booed him out of the building. They booed Theory out of the building as well. It, overall, it was a great match. I do have a little bit I want to talk about Sammy and Jay Uso. Don't believe everything that you saw last night because there is something that was amiss. And unless you were there, now I know there is conspiracy theorists out online, and no, seriously, Jack, seriously, and I truly, I was there,
You were.
so
You
I
were.
know what I saw. I know what I saw, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to happen. And Eric says yes, Carmelo Hayes was there, and they even announced that I mean, I was happy for him too. He
Formerly
wrestled
Christian
Jerry.
Casanova.
He wrestled Tajiri 2.0. I really thought, yes, Axel's in the house. He said good morning, hello gentlemen. To me, I'm tired, man. I Jack woke me up. I was sleeping. And
9:45. He's sleeping.
yes, I'm like super tired. We didn't get home till like 1:45. Um, it was the ending of Raw was good, yes, but there was something. Um, conspiracy. Is it really what you think you saw? Was what you saw? Haha. Yes. It was great. I mean, it was a great show. Now I've been to WrestleMania. I've been to the Survivor. I've been to multiple WrestleManias. I've been to the Survivor Series. I've been to In Your Houses. I've been to Superstar tapings. I've been to Wrestling Challenge tapings. I've been to Saturday Night Main Event tapings. I've been to everything, but I've never been to a Monday Night Raw. This was my very first Monday Night Raw. Amazing. I had such a blast.
I'm glad you had a good
Such
time.
such a boss. Yes, I did.
Glenn,
I
Glenn
have.
Portman's
And
welcoming us back. And Glenn, hope you're feeling better. Welcome to you as well.
hmm and Axel, I was gonna call you, but I also figured you'd be sleeping. Yeah, I was.
You know
I
I'm
I
up.
called into the office, to the shop, Toolmax Designing and Tooling. We're looking for help. Give us a call if you live in the northern Connecticut area. We're looking for some help. Just give us a call. Um, but you got to be willing to work. Give us a call. That's right. Toolmax Designing and Tooling, Aerospace. Um, I called the shop and I was like, "Good morning." And my boss, Sally, the owner of one of the owners, don't worry about it. She starts laughing. What do you mean? Good morning. It's the afternoon. I was like, ugh. And if you didn't call me, I was like, yeah, I could be there now. She goes, no, just stay home. I was like, okay, I'm going back to sleep. Anyway, yeah, it was great. It was a great show. Great show. Then the boys start watching the AEW card pay per view. I didn't do it because I was preparing for tonight. Hey, and Hot Sauce is saying hi from Disney World. Well, hello. Why are you tuning into this show and not Angry Geeks? I don't know, but we're thankful for the view there, girlie. Thank you very much. And no, Axel, it is not remote work. It's manufacturing. Anyway, Jack, the pay per view, AEW. We'll get back to Raw. That death match was brutal, man. The trios match was off the hook. MJF, Brian Danielson. Holy moly! And I didn't even watch it. I was just listening, but it was just like, damn. Oh, and I want to tell everyone a couple weeks ago, I had a certain somebody on the phone. I was just speaking to her very, very, very briefly, the one and only Thunder Rosa. And I didn't even tell Jack this. And I will talk to Jack about this a little later. And Jack, you want to read Hot Sauces?
I will. Jessica says, LOL. I saw wrestling brought up and wanted to check in and save live for later.
All right. Well, thank you.
Nice.
We won't get into why I call Jess Hot Sauce.
No,
It's
we
okay.
won't. We won't. We
No.
won't do that today. Eric says AEW pay per view was amazing from start to finish. I got to tell you, I got to see the Lucha Brothers and Mark Briscoe. That match was awesome. As how could it not be? But
Mhm.
I have only seen bits and pieces of the pay per view. I'm actually really looking forward to the Ring of Honor pay per view. The whole thing with Hangman Page and John Moxley, it's just not my bag. We've talked about this a lot. I'm just really not into the death match thing. I mean, for
No,
me,
nor am I. But dude, I mean, I was listening to it, and first of all, it was Paige who was put over, which I was surprised about, and I'm listening, and I was like, that's pretty disgusting what they were doing, and I was like, whoa. I mean, they pulled out all stops. That was pretty intense. And I heard, my two boys, my two sons, I heard Neil and Cody just going, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." So it
yeah.
must have been a banger of a match.
Like, I mean,
Um,
Glenn's actually echoing how I feel about it, where he says tired of Mox bleeding and means nothing when you bleed every week. That's it. It's like putting an exclamation point after every sentence. Every week Mox comes out and bleeds. Like, okay, I get it. Like that's his thing, but
I
it
think he's
is
on blood
monotonous.
thinners like me.
That
That's
could
why.
be. That could be because he was gushing in that interview he did before the pay per view. He's like,
Yeah.
a puddle on the stairs. The guy's bleeding out.
Eric says I slapped down $50 and I felt it was worth it. Yeah, yeah, $50. That was the parking last night at the TD Garden.
Yeah,
$58 to park in that joint. Can you believe that?
they get you in Boston. It's the worst.
Oh my God, yes. It was just like crazy.
Was the pay per view
Absolutely
50 or
crazy.
60? I thought it was 60.
No, it was I think well the boys got it today. They bought it today, so not maybe they got it like 3-day old bread. I don't know, but it was like 48 it was like $49 or something like that. And I was like,
All right.
Eric come back in, Eric says 50. So I was like, yeah, this is just insanely crazy, you know?
Yeah, and you're not a
And
Brian Danielson fan, so I'm impressed that you were impressed.
yeah, I was like I said, I'm up here working in the Geek Layer, trying to set up, doing the wrestling trivia for tonight. You're not getting away that easy.
I'm sure you're not.
And being at Raw last night, I was like, hey, you know what? This is gonna be a good question. Let's do this. Um, so working on that question, setting up everything and trying not to fall back to sleep. I was listening to them guys, and it sounded pretty damn brutal. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was. I saw a picture of Hangman Page's hair stuck in some of the barbed wire. And there's no question it was genuine. I mean, I just don't enjoy watching somebody get stabbed in the head with a fork. It just isn't
No, I
entertaining to
don't
me.
like that. I mean, we talked to some of the boys and some of the girls, and I told them how I feel about that match. I'm not impressed. I seen it all already with Bruiser Brody, but with Abby the Butcher, with Mick Foley. I'm not impressed by it. I'm not. I didn't watch the match. I heard it. What them guys did were pulling out all the stops. Now, it was you really don't see Page too much in a death match. Mox, yes, you see him bleed every week. You got to prove he's a badass. Got to prove he's a tough guy. So okay, but Page, you really don't see that. So I was like, boy, that was a once in a lifetime thing. Maybe he ain't gonna do it anymore. But it's not like everybody else. Eric comes in and says different strokes for different folks. Yeah, well, I totally get that, and that's exactly
100%.
what that's what our guests say when I bring up that I don't like the death matches. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
One
there's
thing
enough for everyone.
I cannot believe I'm not sure if they showed this last night on TV because it's kind of hard when you are at a live event. Like I've been to many SmackDowns, like I said, and I don't know what they show at home opposed to what you see at the arena. Did you guys see Edge have a backstage segment where he actually talked about Gargano, where he
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
said, "All right, so you guys did see that?" I was like, "Wow, that was a slap in the face to
It
Gargano saying
was. I
that."
didn't like that. I didn't like
I
that.
was like, "Dude, that first of all, Gargano or Dexter Loomis should come out and slap that stupid look off your face because that was just you got some balls to say that, man. That's a match that Finn Balor should have won. I'm like, that's overstepping the line, you drunk bastard. Why do you
Yeah,
got to
yeah,
say that?
totally. And God, is there anyone like I'd love to hear from any of our listeners. Is there one single person who cares about seeing Finn Balor against Edge at WrestleMania? Really? Is there
No,
anyone who
no.
cares? Like
Like
it should
John
just
Cena
be
said,
done.
we don't care. We don't
Oh,
care.
God
Listen,
almighty.
we don't care. But the thing that sucked was the second you heard, you think you know me, the place went nuts. And I'm like, why? That
Like
wasn't
another
piped in.
return?
I know that wasn't piped in. It wasn't nothing. The whole section where we were, everybody stood up. I'm like, sit the F down. Why are you standing up? Why do you want to see this guy come back again just to get hurt or go back into rehab? Sit down, please.
Jesus.
I'm saying, I'm like, come on. Sit down, please.
Like how many times can you do the return thing before you don't get the big pop like that? Like really, it seems like every month. Edge is back. Oh my god, the return of Edge. It's not a big return. He was
I
just
know.
here. Like it's not a big return.
I was just like, please, just go away. Go away. And he come, this isn't over, Finn. This isn't over. Like his chin made it to the ring before he did. Because he got
Oh,
that big chromatic chin. He's like the Crimson Chin from Fairly Odd Parents, and he just he sucks so bad. And
yeah,
I did
with
make
you.
the comment today. Um, Christian Cage is what 2 3 years younger than Edge.
I think so.
Look at the difference. Christian, I mean, he looks amazing.
He does.
Okay, he's still got the go juice. He looks amazing, and you look at Edge. That's clean living versus hard living. It's like apples and oranges. I mean, come on, please.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a lot of factors there, I suppose. But I mean, honestly, I don't care about Christian wrestling anymore either. Him against Jungle Boy, like whatever. I honestly think it's a waste of Jungle Boy's time, but good to put him over like they should have at the pay-per-view. So ultimately it served its purpose. But I can do without all these constant returns. Here's a question, speaking of returns, that I have for you. And I don't know if you see this or if I'm maybe just wishfully thinking, but they officially made the trios match at WrestleMania for Lita, Trish, and Becky the Man Lynch against the Control Crew. What are they called?
damage control.
Damage Control. Yeah, Bailey, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai.
I don't
So,
agree with it.
well, hear me out. So, are we thinking that Trish is going to do a heel turn and join Bailey? Like, what's going on here?
That's the only reason why I could see that match because WrestleMania is a time for every champion to put up their belts. Okay, that's what WrestleMania is about. The only time at WrestleMania a champion did not defend their title was WrestleMania, the very first one where Hogan and T battled Piper and Orndorff. Other than that, every WrestleMania, the heavyweight championship was up for grabs. All belts. Why the women's tag team belts? They have so much trouble with these titles anyway. They have to do something. Why not put them up for grabs? But instead, they're going to do a trios match? Come on.
Right.
There has to be Trish setting up and doing this. But then again, they're both retired. What's the angle? What's the payoff? I don't see it.
Well,
I
that's what
don't.
it's make that's exactly right, and that's why I'm bringing it up because it seems
It,
odd. Like, why are we doing this? There's got to be a
yeah,
reason.
it's there. There's no payoff. So last night when I was watching it, we were there. Trish got the bigger pop. Becky got her pop because they brought Becky out first. Then they brought out Lita, and then they brought out Trish, who got the biggest pop. Okay, fine. But what is I don't know. I don't know what the payoff is. There is nothing that they can do with the belts. They have to drop the belts to somebody.
Well, speaking of no,
Unless
uh-huh.
no, I'm just saying, unless before Mania, Becky and Lita drop the belts back to Io and Dakota, which hopefully could happen. It's stranger things have happened. I mean, we had Brett drop the belt to the Mountie because the Mountie always gets his man before a pay per view, before the Royal Rumble, two
Right.
weeks before the Rumble, so Piper can get it at the Rumble, and then Brett got it back at WrestleMania. So maybe, just maybe, Lita and Becky will drop it at a house show somewhere or on a Monday Night Raw to somebody else. I don't know, but they'll still have this trios match. They got to do something. Something wonky has to happen because it's just a disaster. Because
Right.
right now this trios match doesn't mean nothing. It's a mess. I don't get it. I
I'm
don't
with
get
you.
it.
I'm with you.
E-
I'm trying to make sense of it. And I
Yeah,
right now I'm just
it
curious.
doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense at all.
So
Because
here's
even
another
if
match with zero payoff. We're going to see Brock Lesnar against Omos, who, by the way, much like myself, called him Omos, and I thought that was really funny. He doesn't even know the guy's name.
I know. All right. Well, this is the reason for that because from what I heard through the grapevine and especially chatting with different people and chatting last night too, Brock didn't want to work with Bray again.
It's too much work, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. He did not want to work with Bray again. Doesn't want to work with Bray ever again. And he was like, "I'm gonna take my ball and go home." But now, since Daddy's not in control anymore, they said, "If you do, you're never working again." So this is what's gonna happen. Now you got to work with Omos. He was
What a
like,
match. What a match.
exactly. So now, and I guarantee it, Brock's gonna you'll put almost over, and he's not gonna like that either. And during all that time, Brock actually said he's on his way out. So maybe
Yeah.
this is the last we will ever see of Brock Lesnar.
I heard that he has been saying goodbyes, and who knows what that really
Yep.
means. But yeah, I mean,
Yep, he is on his way out. We heard that again last night. Um, he's just saying he's on his way out, that he's done. So this could be it.
yeah, right. And yeah, there's an awful lot with WWE that does leave one scratching their head because, like we've talked about, I'd like to see Brock Lesnar against Bobby Lashley again. To me, that was the obvious WrestleMania match. The other obvious one's Mysterio versus Mysterio. I think it's clear that's happening too. But I mean, at Mania, I mean, we got John Cena back. They're dusting him off, which makes sense. He can still go. I'm glad to see The Undertaker so far is not making an appearance. Stone Cold's not making an appearance. I'd love to see Triple H really limit that. But I did see photos from last night, and I know you were not able to confirm that Vince McMahon was backstage under the guise of visiting John Cena, which
Yeah,
doesn't really make sense.
no, like I said, our seats we were pretty much near Gorilla, so I was able to see a lot. I sent you pictures from where I was. Um, we were able to see who was coming out and stuff like I saw Cody pacing back and forth. We knew when Asuka was going to come out, so I was able to get those cool shots of Asuka, shooting out I was able to get what I wanted. Um, we knew when Carmelo was coming. Oh my God, Carmelo's coming out now. With the opening match for the main event. So we really didn't have any surprises. The only surprises that we had was when Jay came out from the other side of the arena and when Cena came out. There was a fight in the crowd before
Oh, really?
Cena came. Yeah, before Cena came out, there was a fight in the crowd, and we thought that that was Cena coming through the crowd because that's what somebody said. And I was like, "What?" So
Yeah.
everybody's like rushing around, but there was this fight in the crowd. And then we all started cheering for security for breaking it up, which was pretty cool. Um, so yeah, we knew a lot that what was happening because of where our seats were. I didn't see Vince, did not see Vince, but like I said, I did see John Cena's father was there, of course, and the rest of Cena's family was there too. Um, and Eric's, what does Eric say? Eric Lewis starting trouble again. No, I was actually pretty good. My son Neil has the what what the the deluxe super captain, oh my god, Uncle Howdy mask, the not the cheap ass one. He has like the Hot Toys version that it's made like Jack, you know it.
Yeah, it's high end. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, the high end mat. I was wearing that. Now he did scare the crap out of one little boy. If that little boy right now and his dad is watching, um, sorry about that. We were waiting in line because we didn't have the press credentials or nothing like that. We were waiting in line to go in. Neil did have his uh, Fiend Championship belt, and he had that Captain Howdy mask. So he threw the mask on, and I'll get to another story about the mask in a second. He threw the mask on, and the little boy was only 8 years old, and he turns around and he sees Neil with the mask on, screams at the top of his lungs, and runs to his dad. So funny. So funny. Um, no, what the kids left, man. They went to go get drinks and crap like that. So I took the mask and I just put it on, and I was sitting in the seat, just looking around. I was just being goofy old me, because like I was gonna wear the Macho Man cosplay, but Cody. Cody's embarrassed about Dad being a big kid. So
I
I
know
said, "Oh
someone
yes,
like that. I've got one of my own.
yeah." I was like, "Oh yeah, screw you. Watch this. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
yeah.
this."
Screw you, kid.
But no, I didn't cause any trouble. The only thing I did was wear the feed mask for a little bit, and then I was started sending out those pictures. After I finally woke up today, and Cody's like, "When the hell did he take those pictures?" I'm like, "When you guys left." Um, and Eric says, "All the more reason to do it." Yeah, you're right, Eric. So yeah, I was having a little fun today, and oh yeah, baby. That's the outfit I
Oh
wanted to wear
yeah.
last night, but I didn't. But sitting, near the gorilla, I just didn't see. Well, I went on a tangent. I'm like super tired. That's all. I did not see uh, Mitch McMahon. You texted me and told me McMahon was there. Didn't see him.
So speaking of children being scared, what did you think? I know you didn't see it, but you may have heard it when MJF threw a drink on a little kid at ringside.
Um, was it planned? Was he a
No,
plant?
no, no, no. Wasn't planned.
He wasn't a friend of one of the workers, one of the boys,
Didn't
girls.
appear that way. No, no, no. Evidently, from and again,
Okay.
just from what I'm
All right.
reading, don't
Let's.
know the
Okay. This
inside,
is a good segue.
but
This this is a good
it
segue.
sounded like Tony Khan was a little worried and very apologetic.
Okay. So let's. This is a good segue. A little while ago, in the beginning of the show, I made mention that I spoke with the one and only Thunder Rosa on the phone,
Nice.
which I did. Not this past Friday, the Friday before.
You've been holding out
Uh,
on me that long?
you weren't around. You were in the Bahamas
You
with
could have
Kofi
texted me.
Kingston.
You could have
You were
texted me.
on the phone. All right. So he said the kid looked thirsty in the post scrum.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
Okay.
Salt of the earth.
Um. So now, how it all happened because Thunder Rosa, she has a radio show on satellite radio. So I gave it a call and I spoke with her. I was on the phone with her for a good 5-10 minutes. And we were just chatting about NJF and how he is living his gimmick. He has become his gimmick. He is like Ric Flair, how everyone in the 70s, how Harley Race, how um, Nick Bockwinkel, how Flair was, how they're not characters. They are the characters. They are themselves. They are no longer the people they were. They become who they are. And that's exactly what MJF was. I told her, I said, hey, MJF was at a Comic Con. I have an NDA, so I really can't say. Um, but as he was signing autographs, he was actually doing a lot of stuff with these autographs. He signed an autograph for a friend, ripped it up in front of him, threw it on the floor. He was being that much of a jerk. He was being himself. He was being a heel at the comic book convention. Again, my two boys, they're 23 and 24. They didn't want to go over and say hi to him because they didn't want to be made fun of. Okay. So it was like, that's what he was. As far as him throwing the drink at this kid, he is just being him. He's living his gimmick. His fiance left him because even at home, he's living his gimmick.
Well,
Once he
that
won,
promo about, why he got in the car accident and all that was enough to do
yeah,
that in.
exactly. And ever since he won the belt, he's been wearing it around town, bringing it to restaurants, and I mean, just doing everything with that title. That's what Flair did. Okay, not when Flair was tag team champion, not when he was interstate champion or whatever, but when Flair became the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Let's go back to 1979. He was carrying that belt around everywhere. He had it around. Now MJF, I mean, he is channeling his inner Ric Flair. Eric is coming in and saying that Tony Khan made it up to this kid and his family. So anyway, when I was talking to Thunder, I was like, yeah, he is living that gimmick. He is doing everything right. And he's making his name right now. He is this day and age's Flair. This day and age's Harley Race. This day and age, I mean, Nick Bockwinkel. This is exactly who he is today. Plain and simple. I mean, you can't call him Dusty Rhodes. You can't call him Hogan. You can't call him Piper. But you can't. I mean, yeah, Piper was a heel for 98% of his career, but you can't call him Piper. You got to call him who he is. He is this day and age's Flair, Bockwinkel, and Harley Race. Plain and simple. I don't mean the hamburger smelling Harley Race like he was in the WWF. I mean NWA, AWA, the King Harley Race. That's who I mean. The badass Harley Race. In the cage, blood and guts. Ric Flair versus Harley Race. Harley Race versus Dusty Rhodes. Harley Race. That's who I mean. That's who I see MJF as right now. Just living his gimmick, becoming his gimmick. That's who I see.
Well, speaking of world champions, I think that there was a very strong promo between the champion Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, where Roman
Ooh,
Reigns brought up
ooh.
Dusty's name. That was extremely well done.
But a horrible impression of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
It
You
was.
are it. You can't sell it. You can't sell it. You can't get rid of it if you want to. No, Roman cannot. Don't do Dusty Rhodes, Roman, because no, no. Yeah, I mean Roman was. I mean Roman wasn't even in the TD Garden last night, and people were chanting Roman sucks. That is how bad the wrestling community has embraced Sami Zayn and how much they hate the bloodline right now. You know, and if my theory is not correct about Jimmy Uso, he's the most hated man on this planet right now. That's all I got to say. Because yeah, they were. I mean, the place was deafening. It was a Road Warrior pop with that hug. But once he did super kick Sammy, that place went nuts. So maybe people like me are just reaching for the stars right now, or are just reaching for straws. And like, please let this be said. Let it be all a thing to take Roman down. I don't know. I don't know. But
It's
that
extremely
was.
it's extremely strong storytelling ultimately, which is why you're
Oh yeah.
getting the reaction you're getting. Is not only are they great performers, but great storytelling, extremely well done, great attention to detail. It's not what we were seeing with Vince largely, but now with Triple H in charge, there's just a lot of attention to detail everywhere. And this storyline
Well,
could continue to have a little steam left in it.
Well, see, now Eric comes back and says, hell of a way to go off air. Yes, it was. Now, this is what I'm saying. And Jack, you just hit the nail on the head with attention to detail. This is what we're getting at. The hug, the whispering in the ear. They turn the camera. If you can find this clip online, rewatch Raw, you'll see it. They hug each other. Jay whispers in Sammy's ear and they turn to the camera. So as Jay is going like this and talking, you see Sammy's eyes widen and you see the look of surprise on Sammy's face. And then Sammy starts nodding his head and backs away. So it's like, that's your money shot. That's your camera shot for the video package later on. That's Triple H's storytelling. That's, I mean, for someone who played the game, that's what I look for. So maybe that's what I'm seeing. I don't know. I don't know. So any all our listeners right now, our viewers on out in the video scope through public access TV and through Pod TV, that is what I'm telling you. You're hearing it first right here. If this comes true and you see this, boom. I, I'm telling you. If it happens, if I'm wrong, I'm going to say I'm wrong. Right now into the video scope, I'm going to tell you I'm wrong. But if I'm right, I'm right. That's all I got to say. I don't want no cookies. I don't want no bells. But all I want is Jack to say, "Ooh, Grand Poobah." That's all I want if I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm going to say I'm wrong.
Wow, I'm not sure I'm going to deliver on that, but we'll see.
But yeah, I mean it. But rewatch that clip and you'll see what I mean.
Okay, no, that's good. That's a really good thing to think about. I don't know if any of the listeners picked up on that or not, or viewers. I
It's
did not.
attention to
So
detail. Attention to detail.
yeah, okay, that's fair. I watched all of Monday Night Raw last night. By the way, I was hoping to get a glimpse of you. I was looking for the blue shirt.
And Will Yates says that was awesome. Yeah, the blue shirt.
Weren't you wearing a blue shirt?
Yeah, I was wearing the droop. Oh, it was really cool. Shout out to the little girl and her family. I was wearing my droop. Hold it now, easy. I was wearing my a blue Drew McIntyre T-shirt, and this little girl was wearing the same T-shirt, and I turn around and she looks at me. I look at her dad and her family. The little girl points at me, and then she goes like this. I start laughing. So she runs off with her family member, and as she comes back, she looks at me and she points. Gotta be about, I'm gonna say 11, 12 years old. So I just put my hand up. She comes over, fist bumps me real hard, and she goes, "I wish she was here." I was like, "Yeah, that's right, kid. Me too." And
That's
just
awesome.
walks over. So a shout out to that little girl. Don't know who she is, but a fellow McIntyre fan. She was like all happy to see another McIntyre supporter out there. So yes, I was wearing a my McIntyre shirt last night.
Speaking of segues, did you see the little girl who interacted with Penta at the beginning of Revolution? At the end of the match, Penta was going around and he saw this father holding a little girl and he went to go give her a high five and she did the Cero Miedo. She initiated it. It was awesome.
Really? No, but I did see the little girl that cried when Liv lost.
Oh,
And
come on.
it brought me back. It brought me back to something. And this little girl lost. Little girl, no, little girl didn't lose. Lost a match, and this little girl was bawling. They brought that little girl. Liv saw this little girl on the playback and sent security out to get her, bring her back backstage to meet the little girl. Did you see that?
I think she's hard up for fans. Yeah, that was fun.
Well, it was so funny. Well, that whole thing brought me back to um, one of the very first times that Jackie and I met Sean, where we were at Springfield Civic Center, and this is before Shawn Michaels HBK, before he started bringing Jackie into the ring. Um, it was during the TV taping. Jackie had a big sign saying Jackie loves Sean. She had a rose. Sean did his skit and everything, and he was working with Ted DiBiase. And after the whole match, he left, and Jackie wanted to give him the what you call it, the rose and everything, but he was doing stuff for TV, and he left. Didn't go near him, near Jackie, near nothing. Jackie just broke down. Mind you, Jackie was, you know, uh, preteen, right? 10, 11, 8, 9. She just lost it, crying. I'm like trying to calm her down. And all of a sudden, Camera guy comes over. One of the WWE officials come over. Come with us. There's Sean, autograph picture, all kinds of stuff. It's okay. Gave her a hug. Then later on, came back out, brought Jackie in the ring because he was out again. So they do crap like that. Just to let you guys know, that's nothing. That really happens. And then from that point on, and Jack, you know this because you've seen it happen. Even we weren't even friends then.
No.
Every time Sean was at Springfield, that little girl that was in the ring was my child. That was my Jackie in the ring with Sean on his shoulders. So that does happen. But next time you're here, let me know. And so we were sitting front row. Jackie was in that ring. So that does happen all the time. And whoa, it is time for trivia. And this week's trivia is brought to you by Alternate Universe LLC, comic book straight paperbacks collectibles subscription service. 20 years in the business, two locations, Hartford and Milford and New Haven. Stop in Wednesday. Is new comic book day. I almost said free comic book day. Stop in, see Eric, give him a Facebook message if you want anything. I'm pretty sure he'll give you some stuff online and ship them right to you. To stop in, see Eric, or contact him for your stuff, and
Eric's one
he'll
of the
get
good
you some.
guys.
Yes, and he'll get you some comic books. This week's question is brought to you by Alternate Universe. Jack, who were the original Monday Night Raw commentators? Who were the original Monday Night Raw commentators? Was it A? Was it B? Was it C? Or was it D? Our
Okay,
audience,
so
please.
question: who is the guy next to Vince in C?
That would be Rob Bartlett.
Rob Bartlett. Oh, see, now I know it's either B or C, but man, oh, this is a tough one. The original Lewis. I got to keep my streak alive of getting everything wrong. Um, I got to. I know it's B or C. I'm going with C.
You're going with C. The answer is C! Yes, Jack, you finally got one correct. We are so happy. Jack Purcell is finally on the board, ladies and gentlemen. The very first Monday Night Raw was Macho Man Randy Savage, Vince McMahon, and comedian Rob Bartlett, who knew nothing about professional wrestling at all, was only a part of Monday Night Raw for 5 weeks, just 5 weeks. And after the fifth week, he actually had a pie thrown on him, covered in pie, never came back. And then Bobby Heenan took over, and it became Macho Man, Vince McMahon, and Bobby Heenan. Jack, I am proud of you. I kind of thought this one was going to be easy. I knew Eric Hunting was going to come in and
Oh,
get
hey,
that
yeah. Oh,
answer.
geez, a
Yes.
bunch of people got it. I shouldn't be so proud of myself.
Yes, I knew Will Yates would probably get it as well. So that was a great question. Oh, everyone wins a no prize. Yeah, everyone wins a no prize tonight. But sitting at Monday Night Raw last night, I was like, you know what? I think I'll give Jack a bone. And I was gonna go easy, but not too easy. But Jack, I'm very proud of you, man.
Thank
Oh,
you. Thank
we'll give you
you.
an oh yeah, brother. We're gonna give you an oh yeah. So
Thank you.
yeah, I am.
And
Really
Eric
am.
Hunting said we're pretty loose with the term comedian.
Yes, yeah, but I mean, now I was going to ask you where Monday Night Raw was originally held.
Oh, it wasn't it in the ECW arena?
No, no, it was not. It
It was
was
in New
held.
York. It was in New
It
York,
was in New
wasn't it?
York. Yeah, but that ECW
The
arena is
Manhattan
in.
Center. Was it the
Yeah,
Manhattan
it was
Center?
at the Manhattan Center.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
ECW arena is in Pennsylvania or
That's
New
right. That's
Jersey.
right. Yeah, a few hours away. Right.
Yes.
But I remember
Uh,
them talking about, I don't know if it was, I thought it was the ECW arena, but maybe it was the Manhattan Center where the crew were really unhappy because they had to carry all the ring supplies up the stairs. There was no elevator. So they were in
yeah,
hell having to build the ring every week.
yeah, yeah. And now Monday Night Raw is in arenas.
and stadiums too. I mean, that's
Yeah.
and
Bonus question, Jack. Bonus
oh,
question.
okay.
SmackDown. What network was it originally on, and what night was it on?
UPN Thursday. No,
Very
UPN
good.
Tuesday. Or was it Thursday?
It was Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Yeah,
Tuesday night
UPN
SmackDown.
Tuesday.
Yep. Tuesday night SmackDown on UPN. Then it went to Thursday.
Then it was
Then
Friday.
and it was Friday on Fox. It was
So
actually
listen,
on CW.
speaking of arenas and stadiums, how are
Yes.
you feeling about the King and Queen of the Ring taking place in Saudi Arabia on May 27th, I believe?
Uh
It kind
uh
of limits some of the performers, the ones who refuse to go.
yeah, so Sami Zayn ain't gonna be there.
Kevin Owens isn't going
Uh
either.
Kevin Owens is not gonna be there. Um
A, no, you're probably not.
And B through Z, nobody gives a shit.
that's pretty much how I feel. That's pretty much how I feel. I mean, the Saudi shows, now you're talking about Glenn Portman just hit it on the head. Right there.
Yeah, Glenn says, I do not watch Saudi shows, never have, never will. Yeah,
It,
it's a really interesting situation, right?
it's like they're on in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday. Now this is in the middle of spring, right before summer. You're going to be out with your family. You're going to be having fun. It's Memorial Day weekend. You're going to be doing a lot of stuff. It's on a Saturday. I mean, the last Saudi show, Rose and I were out, man. We were having fun, and we were actually in a mall. We were walking around an action figure store. Hey, and they had wrestling on, and we looked up, and there was like, is that the pay-per-view? I get that the pay-per-view. So that's it. And Will Yates comes in and says, too early in the day. Yeah, nah, man, nah. It's nah.
Well, let's
It's
call it what it is. It's a premium event,
yeah,
Lewis.
yeah. It's no.
Baffling.
Yeah, it is. It's baffling. So no, nah. No. Like John Cena said last night, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. So no,
They didn't even
no.
seem to promote because I saw a post that Xavier Woods put up, I think it was on Twitter, where he was upset that the current King and Queen of the Ring weren't even included in the promo that they did
Oh
for the show.
well. He doesn't even. He's not even King Woods anymore. So why should he care? And they took half of Zelina's music and put it with Charlotte Flair. So oh hail the Queen! It's like that. I mean,
You're weird.
so stop complaining. Stop
Okay.
complaining.
Hey, I
Okay.
also heard Ronda Rousey is injured, so I don't know if we're going to see Ronda Rousey teaming up with her one of the former four horsemen or horsewomen.
Well, I mean, who cares about Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, I'm
mean,
kind of okay with them releasing her if she wanted to be released. For me, it's enough.
it's Ronda is a one-trick pony. She had her stay. She overstayed her stay. She just needs to go away.
That rhymed.
Yeah, I know. I should have did it with the voice filter and made it into a song, but engineering did not click it over for me. Thank you guys.
Hey, work on a sped up version. That's like the big thing on TikTok now. You speed up the vocals, and kids like that shit. Nice
Sorry.
timber. No, don't be.
Thank
Don't be. No, there's always room for
Well, you
flatulence.
warned me not to do that tonight. You told me to go.
I
poopy.
did.
That's how I feel about Ronda Rousey right now.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So something we should talk about. We do have another stellar lineup coming from a more local show. We've been talking a lot about AEW and WWE, but we've got Pro Wrestling Ryan coming back on March 24th. And There's a
Ooh.
pretty stellar lineup. I mean, it's not necessarily wrestlers who haven't appeared there before, but
Mhm.
it's a lot of wrestlers we don't know the matches yet. But we've got a bunch of them announced for the show already, including Mike Skyros, who just got announced tonight, is going to be there for Stiff Upper Lip on March 24th, which is a Friday night. Perry Von Vicious is going to be
Yep, I
there.
seen that.
We got Andy Brown, the Thick Daddy, is going to be there. The
I owe
champion,
him a picture.
Jay Freddy, you do owe him a picture. Delmi
Yeah.
Exo, who recently signed a contract with
MLW.
MLW. Fancy Ryan Clancy.
Actually, they talked about Delmy, Thunder Rosa. They mentioned her, and
All right.
yeah, they mentioned her on the radio show, and I was like, oh yeah, I know her.
You do know
Go
her.
ahead.
That's right. We
Yes.
got Derek Neal returning. Joseph Alexander, friend of ours.
Hey, I know him too.
Yeah, he's a mega talent. Becca is going to be back. Channing Thomas. So it's a pretty stellar lineup. I'm sure Rip will be announced to be on the show as well. And I got a little inside information for everyone. We're going to break this right here and now. There's a new T-shirt debuting with some really cool artwork on it for Rip and Perry Von Vicious,
Oh,
otherwise
did you
known
draw
as
it?
Mutually Assured Destruction. Mad. Yeah, I drew it.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah, it's pretty
Is
cool.
it the one that you showed me?
Sure is.
Ah.
You like that one, right?
Yes, I did. I mean, it doesn't look like that, but it looks cool.
No, it doesn't look like that. You're right. You're 100% correct. It does not.
Ah.
It's
Now,
still
is this
pretty nice.
T-shirt gonna be? Is this T-shirt? I was wondering, is any of these wrestling T-shirts that you've been drawing, are they gonna be available on the Angry Geeks network, or are they just gonna be available at through the wrestling events alone? That's what it's
I'll
something
find out.
for
I'll
our
find out.
viewers.
I'll
For our
find out.
viewers, I mean,
Yeah,
for our
yeah.
viewers,
Let me look
just in
into it.
case.
Yeah, let me look
Yeah, because
into it.
I mean, we got viewers that can't make it to a grind show or make it to a BST show, can't make it to another test of strength show, and we got this talent on our show, and they like them, like Jack Dalton or Uptown Andy Brown or somebody like that. And, oh my God, I've been watching him on YouTube. I would love to get a T-shirt of him, but I can't make it to these shows because I'm on the other side of the country.
Right.
Well, I don't sell them, on Wrestling T. I don't know where I can get. Maybe we'll Jack design that shirt. Maybe, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Just saying.
All right.
I
Well,
mean, we
I'll
sell
talk with him.
T-shirts on the Angry Geek Show. We sell artwork on there. So I mean, hey,
Okay.
what do I know?
Well, let's pull it together. We'll pull it together.
I'm just a businessman. I'm doing business, moving, shaking. That's
You
all.
are snapping.
Yeah.
All right. I'll check it out, but I don't even know when they're coming out. I'm presuming
Okay.
you'll be able to get them at the Pro Wrestling Grind Show
You're
on
zooming.
the 24th. I'm presuming.
Oh. Okay.
But we'll see.
What?
Anyway, that's the scoop.
Okay. Scoop.
And I am shutting down my Patreon this month, so I'll be talking about some other stuff potentially.
Okay.
Like you and I will have a conversation about that whatnot thing.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. I kind of did something bad with whatnot.
Oh. It's like a legal issue. Can we talk about it?
No, I don't want to get divorced.
Oh. I don't want you to get divorced either.
No, I love my wife, but I also love comic books.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of good stuff going on there with comic books.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm finding. I just started poking around.
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of yeah. Wait till the Angry Geeks.
Okay.
I made
Hey,
a lot. I gotta start, talking about certain people that actually, I know this is Faces and Heels, but when you're on the Whatnot app and they see the name and they're like, "Hey, aren't you?" And you're like, "Yeah." Then you feel obligated to buy. So you have to buy something because they know who you are because they listen to you or watch you. So then you buy something or you bid on something and then you end up buying it. And then they're like, "Hey, can you put something on your Instagram page or talk about me on your show? And you're like, sure. Okay, we'll throw in extra books. And I'm like, oh. So then you feel like you're obligated to do that. And then you're on there and then you see a friend that's on there. He gets a show on there. So you feel, oh, I'm going to buy it for a friend. And then, yeah, it's just a mess. It's very addictive, but it's good.
All right. Well, I'm going to take your word for it. I haven't gotten hooked in yet, so I'm going to check
Okay.
it out. But in any case, Pro Wrestling Grind, we'll be talking more about it. We've got some guests coming up who have appeared on Pro Wrestling Grind and who haven't been announced yet. So I don't know if they're going to be on this March 24th show. But what I
Well,
can
I would
tell you,
assume one of them is.
yes, well, me too. But we have one guest coming up on the 21st of this month who I will spill the beans on now, and that's going to be Angelo Carter, who has been all over the place, wrestling all over, and certainly at Blitzkrieg Pro. So we're looking forward to having Angelo Carter being here on the 21st. And there's another tag team who's going to be coming on. I won't announce who quite yet, but it will continue the proud tradition we have of the best tag teams in the Northeast. You look puzzled.
I got nothing. I was looking for a joke.
Oh, okay. And we do have a gold holder from one of the top companies in the Northeast as well, a champion, you might call them, who's also going to be on. But again, I don't have a date quite yet, so I'm not going to say anything. And then we have a superstar who's gigantic. And when I took my girlfriend's oldest son to his first indie show, this guy made a huge impression on him. And I'm not going to announce that quite yet. That's coming up in April, but we've got some really fun guests coming up. So tag teams, singles, it's going to be a lot of fun. Ooh, Kirsten's giving us a big flex.
Can you just email me the rest of this story?
There it is. Bam. So,
okay. Yes.
So next, we've got this coming week for AEW Dynamite. We're going to be
Yep.
seeing Wardlow, and he'll be defending the title against Powerhouse Hobbs, who won that opportunity in that ladder match, which I thought it was so crazy that people were all butthurt or upset somehow that the referees were helping steady a broken ladder so the guy doesn't break his neck. Just don't get it.
Stupid.
Like, why do you
Yeah.
care? Like, that's what you got to nitpick. It was the match had nothing else for you to complain about except that.
Yeah, they're stupid. They just want to see somebody get hurt. That's
Right.
all.
I mean, come on. Like, why do you want to see these guys get hurt? You know, it's crazy. But putting themselves enough at risk without something stupid like that. But that was a
Yep.
great match. And Dynamite, man, week after week delivering. And I really do feel like they're kind of rebuilding and picking up some of the pieces that were maybe a little disjointed for a bit. But now we got Adam Cole coming back. And now that MJF has taken out Bryan Danielson, we got to figure out who they're building up to be the next challenger.
Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be the next one, but he's got to be one of them, right? There's certainly a few people that they're putting in position. Ricky Starks, maybe. I don't know. Will it be him against MJF? Like, what are we going to see next? Adam Cole for sure. Wardlow, maybe a champion versus champion match.
I'm going to say Ricky Starks or Adam Cole.
All right. I would love to see Adam Cole versus MJF.
Yeah. Jack, where can people find you and get some beautiful art?
Well, you can find me at Jack Purcell Inc. on Instagram and Facebook. That's the easiest place to reach me right now. So if you're looking for some artwork, please do find me there. I do have a few appearances that I'll be talking about next week. I'll be appearing on March 24th in Connecticut. So we'll be talking about that Chris Hebert show. Give you the information on that. So I'll be in Connecticut. I do have some other appearances coming up, a really cool signing for Free Comic Book Day that I'll talk about once it's announced. I don't want to say anything until it's formally been announced, but hit me up on social media. I'm easy to find. And of course, you can find us right here on the angrygeekshow.com every week, live on Facebook. And we've got great guests coming up. And like I said, Angelo Carter is coming up next. He is one of those guys who I really enjoy seeing at every show because I've never had a conversation with Angelo that I haven't been laughing, maybe even lolling. Fantastic stuff. So it's going to be really fun, and we'll talk more about it next week. But then we've got Lewis Perry. Are we going to find you this Monday?
Yes, you can find me each and every Monday night with my sister from another mister, the co-hostess with the mostest, that Wonder Woman Jamie Dolan, and our sidekick Emily May, aka Quinderella, right here. You have been watching The Angry Geeks Show on Pod TV. Visit our website today. And for guest bookings, email us at theangrygeekshow@gmail.com today.